Hello, Miss Anderson here to recap Book 10 of the Odyssey. Kind of an intriguing book, yes? So, we have survived the Cyclops. We have sort of survived the Lastergonas. You get it. And the boulder throwing people. We are down to one ship, and Odysseus and his crew are exhausted. They're looking for shelter, and they land on this island, and they know it's inhabited, but they don't know by who. So Odysseus breaks up his men into two groups, all right? He leads one group, and he has his main guy, Eurylochus, head up the other group. So Eurylochus takes his men to go find out who is inhabiting this island. And all of a sudden they hear singing. Right? And they notice that there's a place with a bunch of animals in front. But these are not just ordinary animals. These are like animals, okay? Lions, tigers, bears, oh my. But they're all very tame, and it's very weird. And they suddenly see this beautiful goddess, and she invites them in, Greek hospitality. She invites them in, and they have a feast, and they're drinking this amazing wine, and all of a sudden they don't look the same. In fact, they look like pigs, and it's very weird. Well, Eurylochus sniffed out the trick here, and he held back, and he runs off to go tell Odysseus. He's like, man, guess what? All of our crewmates are like pigs or whatever. And so Odysseus is like, sure. Okay, right. All right, I'm gonna go check that out. So Odysseus goes, and he's gonna go find out what's going on with his dudes, and he bumps into Hermes. Now remember, Hermes is the messenger god, and we saw Hermes on Calypso's island in book 5, and he was the one to tell Calypso, hey, you need to let that guy go. But we see him on Circe's island. We don't know why. It's not like Zeus told him to go to Circe's island. I don't know. And so Hermes tells Odysseus, hey, Odysseus, guess what? This island is inhabited by a witch, and she is a powerful immortal. And I think that you should do the following in order to avoid the terrible things that she can do to you. And so he gives him this certain plant to ingest, and tells him what he should do to get Circe on his side, if you will, the witch. Okay. And so Odysseus goes to Circe's house. He notices a bunch of pigs. It's weird, right? And Circe tries to do the same thing. She gives him this lovely feast and wine. And Odysseus is like, sure, let me have it. Yeah. And Circe's expecting the transformation. And all of a sudden it doesn't happen. And she's freaking out. She's like, whoa, who is this? And he gets out his sword and he threatens her. He's like, let my men go. And she falls to her knees, and she gives him an oath. She's like, I will let your men go. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I am at your service. Quick, right? It's weird. Anyway, so then all of Odysseus's men get transformed back into men, and they have a party of a century, except for it lasts for like a whole year. And I thought Odysseus was crying on the beach at Calypso's island, but yet he seems fine to spend a year with Circe. I don't know. Anywho, he only decides to go ahead and, okay, maybe we should think about going home, when he sees his men crying about their home, Ithaca. Isn't that sad? It's weird. Faithfulness. So that's what's going to happen. He goes to Circe. He's like, okay, I think I've spent long enough here. I think I need to go home to Ithaca, right? And Circe says, okay, I'll let you go. It's fine. You can go. But I'm going to tell you, you need to seek the advice of this prophet that I know. His name is Tiresias. And he's like, sure, point me in that direction. She's like, well, here's the thing. He's dead. And Odysseus is like, what? And she's like, yeah, you need to go to the underworld. And Odysseus is like, I don't want to do that. But she's like, you gotta do that though. And so Odysseus is like, crud, I gotta go to the underworld. So he tells his men, and the trick is she gives them some advice. Hey, you need to do the following in order to avoid the spirits all overwhelming you. All right. So she tells him to sacrifice a certain thing. I'm going to let you remember that. I'm not going to give you that detail. Make sure you know that. And that's what's going on at the beginning of book 11. Odysseus and his men are going off to the underworld. They're going to do a certain thing to make sure that they're safe. And then they're going to encounter many famous people. Now, at this point, I want to overview the word illusion with you, okay? Not illusion. We're not doing magic here. It's illusion with an A. Now, here's the thing. An allusion is a reference to a well-known thing like literature, history, pop culture. If I make a reference to a famous, say, Christmas song or a famous poet or a famous, whatever, that most people would know, then that is an allusion to that thing, all right? So there will be many allusions in the next book to definitely some famous Greek heroes and myths. Definitely want to know about Hades and Persephone, all right? Be sure you know about that myth. It's kind of intriguing. All right, so that's what's coming up in book 11. I hope you enjoy your trip. Well, maybe don't enjoy this. Enjoy the trip to the underworld. See you soon.